So I've spent the past couple of weeks trying to get to know my EcoFlow River 3. It is the power station that I have chosen to run my Starlink setup as I'm moving to a Starlink satellite. I have Starlink Mini, a Starlink satellite setup for my mobile live streaming. Any place that I would go where I would not have known reliable internet access, I'm going to take my Starlink Mini, and it's going to replace my MiFi hotspot setup that I've had for so many years. The MiFi hotspot has been wonderful where it's good, but there's just too many places in the area where I live where I don't get that cell reception from either Verizon or T-Mobile, and so getting live streams out in those places is incredibly frustrating or impossible, either one. So Starlink Mini combined with the EcoFlow River 3, and I've been testing what it takes to get the power station back up to a full charge. I've tested what it takes to what it's going to require to charge other devices with that power station back up to a full charge. My cameras, my streaming consoles, my iPad, whatever it is that I have to charge their batteries back up to 100%. And then what it looks like or what it requires of the power station to charge devices, to power devices, like the travel router, like the Starlink itself, like my YOLO cam, which doesn't have a built-in battery, requires power. So let's look at a few of those things, and let me report to you what our power ports will give us. The two USB-A, the one USB-C, and then the three-prong or two-prong inverted power. So to start with charging, I ran a test with plugging it in from 0%. I ran the power station all the way down, starting at 0%, and I ran a test to what it would take to charge to 100% if I plugged it into a wall outlet. It will receive up to 300 or so watts of power. Sometimes it reports a little more, just a hair less, while it's charging. And it takes a little less than 1 hour to bring it all the way back to 100%, from 0 to 100, charging the device from a wall outlet. Less than an hour. That's very impressive. The stats on what this actually is. It is a 245 watt hour, 12.8 amp hour battery. It is a lithium iron, what we're used to seeing as a LiFePO 4. That's the battery that it actually has in it. And so it will charge up to about 300 watts on a wall outlet. The solar input, which I did not get, but is an option to it, and then the car input, 12 volt input, are two other options that you have for charging this. And it comes with the 12 volt. Yeah, it comes with the 12 volt socket with an XT60 port that goes in the side next to where the wall outlet goes. And the 12 volt power is going to take about 10 minutes less than 3 hours, because the 12 volt's only going to give it about 100 watts of charge at a time. And so we're getting right at 300 from the wall outlet, you're only getting 100 from your car. And I actually did that test. I see what the stats say, what the booklet says, but I want to run my own test. And so okay, so we're going to run a test. How long will it take for the EcoFlow River 3 to charge in the vehicle? It comes with a 12 volt cigarette lighter type socket, and then an XT60 that will plug directly into the battery. I don't anticipate it being as fast as plugging it into the wall, because we're not generating that much power in a vehicle. It says that it's going to take about 2 hours to charge the way it sets now. I've got a camera on it in the back seat. We're going to let that charge, see how long it takes, and that'll be part of the test of how quickly can I get power back into this EcoFlow so I can go and use it another 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 hours in my mobile live stream. I ran my errands driving around with this plugged in, with it hooked up to my 12 volt outlet and charging from 0, aiming for 100%. And then I let it set idle when I got through running errands, just so it would have, I wouldn't be charging off my Jeep's battery, but I'd be charging it off the power that was running. And so it took about 10 minutes less than 3 full hours to get to 100%. Now I do have a third option for powering it in my Jeep, or another option for powering it in my Jeep, in that I have an inverter in there that puts out 100. It says it puts out 150 watts. I couldn't get it, though, when I tried to plug it in, not to tell me that it wasn't overloaded. And I don't know if that's an issue with the Jeep's inverter, probably, or with the power station, the EcoFlow River 3 itself. But it flashed the message at me on the screen that it was overloaded. And so I need to figure that out, because it should give me back down to closer to 2 hours of charging time if I'm out in the field and I need to recharge it and I don't have access to a wall outlet. So charging the device an hour, 3 hours, and then somewhere in between if you have that inverter built into your vehicle. Okay, so then charging other devices. So if I'm going to have a couple of cameras, or my iPhone or my iPad that needs to be recharged, my most efficient way, remember on the EcoFlow River 3, the most efficient way is going to be to use the USB ports. That is, it's not having to go through an inverter to get the electricity out like it is for the plugs. And so we want to try to use those if we can. I pulled three cameras that are on. I'm going to turn them back off because I know that they have now used some of the battery that was on them. And we're going to see what we pull from this battery, from this charging station, when we charge these. We're not trying to power them while they're running. We just want to charge them back to 100. So I'm going to make sure that is on, and then I'm going to start stealing USB cables so I can plug them in to these devices. Now the output of these power ports, the USB-C is rated at 100 watts. It's supposed to give us 100 watts of charging power plugged into the USB-C port. So I'm going to put that one on my Mevo Core to charge, and it will then show me what it's pulling the output wise. Okay, so it is now pulling 15 watts of power, charging at a rate of 15 watts into the Mevo Core, trying to charge that battery back up. That's probably all the Mevo Core will ask for, because like I said, this port will give us 100 watts of charging power if we ask for it. Okay, so let's steal another cable and we'll plug in one of these other cameras. Let's get that one plugged into the, no matter which side you turn your USB-A plug to, it always is the wrong way the first time. So here's a USB cord that's going to my OBSBot Tail 2, the charging port there. All right, and so the USB-A ports are going to give us 12 watts each. So 24 watts between the two of them, but it splits at 12 watts each if that's what the device asks for. And the Tail 2 will ask for more than that, but it will only get 12 watts. So now I am outputting 27 watts of power. By the way, 27 watts of power is just about the same as what the Starlink asks for. And so I'm showing 8 hours of battery potential at 100% charge on the EcoFlow River 3, charging those two devices. Now, it won't take 8 hours to get those charged back up at a rate of 15 and 12 watts, but that's what we're getting at the moment. Yes, so USB-A again. Let's see if I get it right the first time. This time, it is highly unlikely. Yeah, you always get it wrong, and then you turn it over, and that's the wrong way too. So you turn it back over, and somehow now that's the right way. It's exactly what I just did. That is nuts. All right, so this time we are charging the OBSBot Tail Air. We'll see what it asks for and what it gets. Okay, it's asking for 10 watts. So it is charging, and it now reads 37 watts of output on the EcoFlow. Okay, that's good news. In just a little while, these will be charged up. 15, 12, and 12. It's what it's rated to give, and it's what it is actually giving. That's encouraging. And so using all 3 USB ports, I'm still showing about 6 hours of battery potential in the EcoFlow. Again, it won't take 6 hours to charge these three cameras. But so if I'm charging devices, that's what I get. Now I can then turn on the inverter and keep plugging stuff in. If I want to run my OBSBot Talent and bring the actual plug in for that and not run it off batteries, then I can do that. It's just going to take more of my battery. I'll have less of it to go around for other things. So I like to run a console. Sometimes it's my Mailbox Ultra. I am testing the Extreme and have cut a video on that. We'll see if it gets released anytime soon. But sometimes I'm running a Mailbox Ultra, sometimes Extreme now, and then of course my OBSBot Talent, which I really like because of its size. A lot of folks like a big screen. I like that little bitty box because it's just easy to deal with. And if I need a bigger one, I can always plug in a touchscreen monitor and use it as a confidence monitor, but also as a touchscreen. Okay, so we've talked about charging the power station itself, and we've talked about charging other devices back up to 100%. But now let's talk about powering devices. So if I were to take and say, okay, I want to power my travel router. Now I know it's going to want at least 15 amps of power. It would rather have 20. And so I'm not going to give this one of the USB-A ports because the USB-A ports are only going to give me 12 watts of power, and it's going to ask for more. It'll run on less. It just doesn't like it, and so your connection will suffer. So putting this in my USB-C port is going to be the way to go. All right. So I just made myself out to be a liar. I plugged it in. It's starting up, as you can see, which is the most power-intensive part of the process. And it's only asking for 10 watts. I'm on the 100-watt output, and let me see. Let me unplug the others and verify what I'm actually pulling out of that Slate travel router. Now that's unexpected. It is reporting that it is outputting 4 watts. That really kind of blows me away. All right. So recharging devices, bringing them back up to 100% was 27 or so watts using the 3. If you have another one that draws more, it'll be more, but you're going to get plenty of hours to get those recharged back up. Powering devices like the Slate travel router. Let's go ahead and plug I don't have my plug-in. Well, that would not be USB power anyway. So I guess this is going to be running and powering the Mailbox Ultra. Since it's only asking for 5 volts, I'm going to trade out the charger for the Slate travel router and put it on a USB-A port that only gives me 12.5. Excuse me, only gives me 12 watts. Slate travel router is starting back up, and I'm giving the Mailbox Ultra, which sets at 74%. USB-C power, offering it as much as 100 watts, and it is taking a lot of that. So if I was at 2 watts on the Slate travel router, I am at 40 watts. Yep, 40 watts on the USB-C. And I see that in the app that's on the screen. When I'm looking at it on the screen for the power station, I don't see how it's divided out. But if I will use the app, EcoFlow app is available in the App Store, Google Play Store. You can download it to your device. And it's going to show you from wherever you are, instead of having to be right in front of your power station. It's going to show you what your output is, what your battery time left is. I've got 5 hours, 40 minutes according to the app. I'm outputting 44 watts of power, 40 to the Mailbox Ultra and 4 to the Slate travel router. Now, if I were to throw in my Starlink Mini into that, I would need to move it to the center USB-C port. So whichever device requires the most power is going to get to go there. I can use the Mailbox Ultra on the 12 watt. It just won't charge as fast, and it might not keep up with the rate of discharge, but has a very powerful built-in battery. And so I'm really just kind of maintaining that, making sure I don't run out of battery whenever I am recharging device, when I'm powering devices on game day. So our power port ratings, we will output 126 watts from the inverted power, either of those ports. And we will output 12 watts from the USB-A, either of those ports. We'll output 100 watts from the USB-C. The app is really handy. I like having use of that. And so if I'm judging how well this power station will hold up to game day, it's going to give me 5-6 hours of Starlink plus travel router. If I need to throw my control device on there so that battery doesn't run down too far, or if I'm using my OBSBot Talent with plug-in instead of battery, it's going to be less than that. And so I'll have to charge back up at some point. Hopefully I'll have access to a wall outlet and can get that done in less than an hour. But if not, I'll get what I can between games in the Jeep, and we'll see if this will make it all the way through. This device was on sale for $159. And that was my biggest reason for buying this one. Going into the Starlink setup this year, I did not anticipate, because of the weddings that we have coming up. One we had last weekend. I'm thrilled with how that turned out. But just trying to keep the money together for these weddings, I didn't think I was going to get to go ahead and spring for the Starlink this spring. But so many of you have made orders from the store. I was able to do that. My Go Imagine shop, mobile live streaming shop, where all my 3D prints are. And so many of you have ordered those already this year that I was able to do this. And I'm so thankful for the community that's been built here and what it has allowed. And so we pour that back into the channel. And so maybe we can help folks make good decisions about what kind of equipment they buy, because your money is important too. Your money is limited too. And so I want to make sure that the EcoFlow River 3 is a good choice for us if we're going to be live streaming sports. Some of you will stream so much through a weekend, the EcoFlow River 3 will be a little bit small for you. I'll be honest with you. It's going to be a little bit underpowered. You're going to want to go with a larger, instead of that 245 watt hour, you're going to want to go with the next size or the next size up, so you have more battery power before you have to recharge, and you can keep your devices running longer, because you're playing pool play on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, or Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and you have a lot of games back to back throughout the day, and so you don't have that time to recharge. You need to make sure that it charges everything or powers everything as you begin. So EcoFlow River 3, there'll be a link in the description. I don't know that it's still on sale, but we'll have a link in the description for the OBSBot Tail 2, for the Tail Air, for the Mevo Core, for the OBSBot Talent, for the Mailbox Ultra, all the things that you've seen in this video. We'll go ahead and put links in the description if you would like to make use of that affiliate link. That's another reason why I was able to buy this, because affiliate links have been strong this spring as well. Thank you for choosing to use that when you buy your stuff off Amazon. So hope you enjoyed the visit. This was just one of those days that it's kind of rainy outside, kind of a nice day. And so getting to report to you what I found of the EcoFlow River 3 has been a lot of fun. Thanks. We'll see you next time.